I'm not even kidding, sprinting down the fucking street trying to run right back to you. So I didn't realize. So so I had an appointment for my back. It was supposed to be at 2:30, right? So I ended up getting taken at like 3 o'clock for them to basically tell me I need to come back because they want me to consult with a surgeon. Fine. So I Uber back and I don't realize that it's automatically set to my work. So we're halfway and I look out and I was like, what the fuck? Where were you? When I asked her, I was like, where are you going? She's like, Ultraflex. I'm like, no, shit, no, I need to go home to be able to be on with you guys. Wrong place. Anyway, so halfway there, turn around, come this way. And she lets me out like 3 streets away from where I live. No fucking idea why. I was like, you know what? It's fine. And I just like start sprinting to get back. So that was why you got typo as I'm like fucking home aloneing it to get here.
Girl, that's wild. Mina, welcome back, princess. How are you?
I contracted the plague,
Oh
so
no.
Naturally.
um, I look and sound amazing,
You look
obviously.
fantastic.
Well, I also have like a pimple right here that I don't know. It's making my under eye filler also get super inflamed. So like, I woke up this morning like this, and like, I couldn't even see. Like, I did this. I was like, my vision is blurry over here. Garrett's like, "Are you sure it's just a pimple?" I'm like, "I hope so." So
Mm.
we're there. I went out my one every 2 years. We went to a Texas honky tonk.
Oh wow.
That was and like we had some drinks. We stayed up until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Who do you think you are?
I don't know, but my sleep schedule has been fucked ever since. I'm like,
When was it? She's like, it was a week and a half ago.
it was Saturday night.
What
Um,
day is it? Oh, it's Thursday. Jesus.
I'm
That's fair
still
though.
so it was quite the time, but it was a lot of fun. We rode a mechanical bull. I stayed home. It was fun.
Y'all need to get a big bitch pump cover. I'm serious. Like, they're so fucking nice.
Well, I also lost 5 pounds in Texas. I'll be real. I wasn't doing cardio because I was focused. Like 1 week of missing cardio to prioritize taking care of my partner and making sure all his ducks in a row. It ain't gonna be the death of me as a bodybuilder.
Uh-uh.
I lost 5 pounds, so I definitely enjoyed it, and it's big bitch season. So I was like, 'cause
Mm.
I went back down to 13 pounds over my stage weight. I'm like, oh, nice. Not trying to
Oh,
grow or anything.
I don't want
So
to talk about that.
Yeah, Laura doesn't want to talk
We're
about
not
stage
gonna
weight.
go there. You
I
know
mean,
what? The fucking the last of my daily frustrations. So last Thursday, I went to get my labs done to give myself the green light, and
mhm.
they forgot my entire CBC and didn't pull it. So like when she did it, she only did 2 vials of blood, and I was like, "Oh, that's great, short today." Like, 'cause I hate getting blood draw. And then it was because it was somebody that who's new who actually quit. I went in yesterday to be like, where are my results? And they're like, oh yeah, the girl who did your draw was on her third day. She sucked. She's already gone, but she forgot a vial and it was yours. And I'm like, no one was gonna call me to come back because I paid for it.
Oh,
So yeah.
That's annoying.
that
So,
is super frustrating.
well, the green light's coming, and if it makes you feel any better, your lips look really good.
Thank you. I went yesterday. So they look kind of funky because they're all bruised. So you can see the little whatever. I always bruise badly, but hopefully they come down a little bit and I don't look so ducky. But yeah, that's like bruising there. You can kind of see it.
They look, yeah, I got them done yesterday. I'm like, no wonder
As
I love
I'm drooling on myself trying to drink water
Oh
because
my
they're so
god.
swollen. Don't mind
them.
me.
They look beautiful to me. I
Thank
went
you.
trying to
Yours
get
look
my lips
beautiful
done.
too. You're both beautiful.
Yeah, you're better women than I am. I ain't doing that shit. Mm-mm.
That's
My
true.
lady wants to dissolve mine, and I'm like,
The, nah. Yours look
I'm like,
great.
it'll go away on its own. And she was like, probably not. I'm like, yes, it will. I know it will.
You're like, I
Um,
diet plenty. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
literally, I'm on enough growth hormone. Like, we're good. There
Dude,
are
for real. That's the thing is like I was telling Austin, I was like, how high can we fucking go with this shit? Like it's not that I have like money burning in my pocket, but it's like I don't spend money on anything else but
Same.
fucking food
Food.
and like I don't even know. Like, I don't do the lip filler and shit like that. And it's like, I got growth money. So how much can we send this
This is the
bitch?
first I've done this in like 3 years, something like that. It's been a while.
Well, dude, like, I'm not knocking that. Like, I'm not
No, I'm just
knocking how you feel beautiful, but I'm saying that, like, since I don't have that extra expense, I have like more money to play with. So I'm like, Austin, my brother in Christ, what are we doing?
I tell me if either of you have had this. I mean, maybe I don't get pharmaceutical grade growth from them. Like, we're not
I've
balling.
done both, and I did not notice a difference, if I'm being totally honest.
Because I
I
thought
didn't
about
either.
like getting a pharma grade kit just to see if I noticed a
Yeah, you
difference.
should, just to try it for you. Honestly, the one thing I did notice, so and it depends where you get it from, between pharmaceutical and generic, there was the like sodium whatever added to the pharmaceutical grade. So for me, it was actually worse because I noticed more inflammation with that and more like the joint achy and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's like a
Truthfully, I've
$500
noticed
experiment.
nothing from like my gray tops. Like, I've had gray tops for years, right? And I have tried the blue and then like the pre-constituted shit. I didn't notice any difference. And it's like I've used my consistent source for the past like 2 or 3 years. And like I see a difference in terms of upping the dosage, but like
Mm.
I, that's just like no shit, right? But like also that to me is like quality, because it's like if I'm noticing like better tissue accrue or at least like fuller muscles, then like it's doing something, you
I feel like
know?
for me, for GH, I don't really know. It's not one of those things that well, maybe everybody, but you don't really notice or feel a difference personally that I'm on it until I come off it. And then I realize the difference of restarting.
That's the biggest notice I have is like when we pull it for peak week. And I'm like, oh, that pop, that
Yeah,
roundness is like gone.
yeah.
So, and then like I mean, I'm not recovering that deep anyways, but definitely with recovery standpoint. If we want to be super transparent, how high has everyone gone?
Well, let me show you a picture where I just started to pin my I'm pinning everywhere. Like if I've got muscle there, it's getting pinned. But I'm also like trying to grow everywhere too. And this is I'm using 6 IUs on training days. And
Damn.
look at that. Look at that fucking fullness. That was biceps, triceps, delts, pecs. I'm just saying.
Oh shit!
Right? Mina, fucking thank you. Right? Right? That's
Let
a
me
lot of
pause real
food.
quick. I'm gonna go put it in my butt.
Yeah.
I've always done sub Q. I've never tried IM.
I mean, like, I'm not like super fat, so like I can get away with like an insulin syringe, you know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah,
also that's my food, by the way. That's my food, training days and non-training days, respectfully. So
that's
like
like a lot.
y'all are like, why are you selling cookies? Because I'm using 6 IUs of fucking growth hormone, and that's my fucking food. Like, I
What?
need cookie money so I can buy food and drugs.
I mean, that's like a grown man diet. In my opinion.
I said that. I asked her the other day. I was like, eating more than your man, like legit.
Uh,
Have either of you used I'm gonna butcher this, the GHKU or whatever peptide?
no.
Topically, yeah.
I've tried it injectably, and that shit is like so
Spicy?
painful. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna train, especially upper body, do not do that
Uh-huh.
anywhere near your training because your arm's gonna be like this. Like
Yeah.
dead fucking arm. Do not do it.
Copper and glutathione.
Gl-
Spicy.
Glutathione is just as bad.
Spicy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt the same way with glutathione too.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like energetic afterward at all?
No. I just
Dude.
feel like my arm is dying.
So like I'll just like take like a fat section and just in there, but afterward, and like this is not placebo because Eric does it too. When he injects it, it hurts. He's fine. I
Mm.
had him do 2 pulse points on me just to make sure that I wasn't like, losing my goddamn mind. As soon as I finished injecting, it's like instant tachycardia where he's like, dude, what the fuck? And like, I feel like I could run through a brick wall.
You should
But
try it.
That's what I'm saying. Donk. But it's like that's only with glutathione. Or if I do like fucking like Super Shredder from Amino Asylum when they back in the day where it's like the yohimbine, L-carnitine, clenbuterol mixture. That's also like a zippity flippity. But like the glutathione, I'm like, yo, let's brawl, let's fight.
Honestly, I was doing glutathione for a little while for like all of the recovery purposes and all that great
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And it was so weird because I was doing it in my glute and it was like this like stinging sensation that it didn't matter how long ago I did the injection, it never went away. So I
Yeah.
finally, it took me like, I kid you not, 3 months of not using it for that to go away. So I was finally like, okay, this is lingering way longer than it should. Like my body does not like this.
Yeah. If you're doing it IM, I wouldn't do it IM. I'd do it sub Q.
And I
You
just
have
get
to I feel like you have to dose. Maybe it's just the bottle that I have. You have to dose it so high. Like
yes.
I'm scared to put it under the skin. But I
I've
also
Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say I tried all the things too of like using it in an insulin syringe that like doing little and like spreading out the injection, like nothing helped.
What are you guys dosing?
1 full ml for the
But like, what's
glutathione.
the concentration of your?
I think it was 400. Meg was the one that told me what
Oh,
to
that
get.
could be why. Because I just do like 1 to 200 milligrams like every other day, so that way I'm not like, because that would fuck me up.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
400. Hmm?
I
I probably would. I just like be out like I'd be like flatlined.
truly. Um, damn, I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot.
Sorry, didn't mean to steal you.
Yeah. I'm just happy to be on here with you guys. I missed you.
We missed
Yeah,
you.
we miss you.
It was a fun time, but it was a long week. So I also had 3 competitors and Garrett. So I was everywhere. And I was still trying to be a good bodybuilder and like get my training in and get my meals in.
Hmm.
Um, so it was a lot.
I think that's the thing is like relationships in prep when it comes, that's our topic of the day. Surprise. Like when you were a bodybuilder, that's also an extra level of stress because like when I was in prep, like, well, Eric was on his programming, like that wasn't like a hall pass to fuck off. Like the intensity is different, right? The urgency is a little different, but like, Mina, you're a fucking pro. Like, urgency is like the highest that it's ever going to be up until you get your Olympia qualification because we're manifesting that, inshallah. But it's like, you can't be fucking off. You know what I'm saying? But you also then have to balance being a good partner to Garrett because, like, was it his first national show? Yeah, that's huge. That's huge, dude.
And I was so much more nervous for him than I was myself. Like the night before I competed, full 7 hours, didn't wake up, maybe once to pee. Every hour before his show, I was like checking my arm on the phone. I was like, okay, we can go back to sleep again. Um, that was an interesting experience because like we've prepped together before, but we did the same show. So like we were both experiencing highs and lows at the same time. Like if my dad came over one day and we were watching the Olympia and he was like, "You guys look like 2 crackheads on the couch, just like slumped." And so, like, there wasn't that disconnect. We were both like gone. So there wasn't that disconnect where going through this prep when he was my support system, there was times where he was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you mad
Mhm.
at me?" I'm like, "I'm just existing. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm just making my meal.
Mhm.
Nothing's wrong." And kind of same thing, I got to experience that. Garrett had to diet a little bit harder than I did, so that he could end up making weight. And it was a longer period of time. And I was like, I'm really having conversations with myself right now, truly. I'm cracking jokes and like laughing, and he's just making his meal. So that was a very interesting experience. And then being the support in the crowd, never been so nervous, like just handshaking, full body shaking. But it was also really cool to be able to, like I said, be his support and cheer for him and be in the crowd and like take the videos instead of when we were both competing. Like we had to do our own hump ups. We had
Mhm.
to like follow our own individual course. So we learned a lot about ourselves and each other in the process, which Next year, we're going to try and align our schedules better because I would much rather us both be in prep at the same time, not doing the same show, but um, then having that like I'm fully back to life and he's in the gutters.
Hmm.
Because it's one thing I thrive being alone, but it's one thing to like fully be alone or like feel alone in a house with
Okay.
a partner,
Yeah.
which we both get it and we both understand it and we don't like hold it against one another, but it still kind of sucks. Like you see your like partner's soul almost leave their body. It's
Yeah.
like that's not my person. It's a shell of who he is. It's true.
I think that's so interesting and beautiful because that is the complete opposite of how I handled my prep and how we will potentially handle Eric's prep. Because
That's it.
yeah, I know, potentially. It'll give him a few years, but because to our point, since Eric and I got together when we were 17 and have been married for almost 10 years, we are each other's other half, right? It's like we hate being alone. We crave each other's presence because like we literally like grew up together and we're together. So like the whole being alone, that doesn't work for our dynamic. But to Mina's point, when you're in prep, that piece of you that is you gets diminished because you don't have the calories, the body fat, like you don't have what makes you really you when you're in the weeds of prep. And that's just what you sign up for when you enter into a prep. That's not a hall pass to be a jackass, but like the vivacity, I don't think it's a word, but like your liveliness, that really goes away, right? And in my prep, when it went away, I was so thankful that he wasn't dieting, even though it was like, I was watching him eat and I'd be like, describe that for me. Like, can you just do a
We
little
just smell
ASMR for me? Right.
it.
Right. But like, I needed him to carry us. I needed him to carry the team because I couldn't do it. Right. So if and when he enters into a prep, I want to make sure that at the very least, it's like I'm maintaining, I'm holding, I'm growing, even if it's a small fat loss phase. But like a small fat loss phase is nothing compared to the prep diet. Right. Because I wanna make sure that I'm his rock because he was mine, right? I wanna make sure that I can carry him through a prep, especially because it's gonna be his first prep, to make sure that he has what he needs to be successful because of how our relationship dynamic works, right? And so for you guys listening, Mina isn't wrong, I'm not wrong. That's what Mina and Garrett need, and this is what Ashley and Eric needs. And then, for Laura, like, she had her own experience being in prep and prepping Josh that I'm sure she has her own take on relationships and prep and communication.
For sure. Are you
Um,
asking me to get into that, or are we
Yeah.
going into Um, well, Josh will never compete again, so it's a little null and void in that sense, because from a genetic stance, he's very much made for competing. From a mental stance, he's very much not. He hates
Okay.
dieting. He doesn't like dieting. He likes to work out and he likes to eat what he wants. And he just is one of those people that is so self-critical that no matter how good he is, it'll never be enough. So it
Mhm.
doesn't feel fulfilling to him.
Yeah.
So I don't see him changing his mind. He says it constantly because I'm always like, "Come on, let's do it together." And he's like, "I will never do that again. Like, it is all you." And I feel like for me, in having him not dieting on this, because I've been through him dieting while because I was just coming out of prep while I was prepping him, that sucked. We were both like, kind of like you said, like existing. And honestly, he had just moved in too, which made it even harder because like we were trying to exist together when we've never existed before, which was
Okay.
terrible. 3 years later, maybe it would be a little different now that we've lived together long enough, but that back then it was awful. And I feel like when I'm prepping and he's not, it's not very different from the day to day. Like if he wants to go out somewhere, whatever, I'm happy to go. Like
Uh-huh.
neither one of us is staying up late. We're up early, so it's not like I have to worry about that. But like I'm not. I've never been somebody who is super food focused. I'm not a foodie. I don't care. I'm happy to go and just spend time with him. Um, and as of recent, I've had more people to worry about around the same time if I'm prepping than myself. So like I don't really feel like I'm in prep anymore. Like it's just like I'm eating less food and doing all the things that I normally would do.
Yeah. And I think a key word that you used repeatedly and was genuine is you were happy to go. right? And that's something where, especially if it's your first prep, everything is going to be so new and overwhelming that you might not know necessarily how to handle it. And that's why establishing communication in your relationship before you enter a prep is going to be paramount, right? Because like your needs and how you communicate is going to be different because you are going to change dramatically. And again, that's not a hall pass to abuse your partner and to be disrespectful. But let's be honest, you are going to be quicker in your anger. You're not going to be nearly as patient. You are going to be hungry or food focused or depleted or all of these things that you likely have never experienced to that degree for a goal that you have in mind. And so you have this kind of like weird dichotomy where it's like you know what you need to do and it is like entering its own level of suffering, but you're also choosing it. And so you kind of have this like internal battle. And then, especially if you have a significant other that is so far removed from the sport that they're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? But even if you have someone like Garrett or Josh that like is in the sport or at least is like very familiar with like extreme dieting, like it can be easier for them to understand because they can be a little bit more empathetic with their own physique goals. But someone like Eric, like my first prep, he was like, dude, what the fuck is happening? Like, why are you behaving this way? But granted, I did not behave in a way that was a loving wife, which is on me. Um, but it is so important to talk about your communication needs before prep and especially during prep.
And I think a great tool for a listener, um, just whether you are on the giving or receiving end, I've noticed this is the first time I've prepped with a significant other. I unintentionally would let out some of my frustration on Garrett because he was my safe place.
Mhm.
Like when I'm operating in the day to day world or with clients, like I couldn't just, I mean, I could, but I couldn't just be like an asshole for no reason.
Right.
Whereas like with him, because he's my safe place, I know he's not gonna like, you know, get mad. Like I have a specific, I got mad at him for making his Ninja Creamy first instead of me. And
I
I
like,
mean,
feel you.
there. Like, so unnecessary, but and I was like I let out my frustrations on him, and I feel the more times you prep, the more experience you have with controlling these emotions, which I've talked about before, and it's just if you're going through that, like, understand your significant other doesn't hate you.
Right.
You I mean, they might, but that's something for you to reassess at a different time. But if like you normally have a really good dynamic, you're not arguing over small things, etc., and something like that comes up, it's not you. And I found the easiest way for both of us, and I'll be super honest and transparent. Like I have competed more than Garrett, so I feel like sometimes I was maybe on the venting, receiving end a little bit more than he was. But I'm like, he can't do that at work. He has a corporate 9 to 5 job where he can't just like go off on people. So I just like let it roll off my back. A few times I had to be like, hey, check yourself. And he would. But, that communication factor of knowing one, if you're not the problem, they're actually not mad at you more than likely. Again, you might want to reassess at a different place in time. Um, and then when necessary, be like, "Hey, I'm not I'm not the problem here. Like, I hear you, I see you, but let's reel it in." And I hope I'm articulating that in a way that's digestible because it's never gonna be perfect. Like, you can't expect your partner to never say something or never be quick to react. Like, that's at the end of the day, we are putting our bodies through immense stress and extremes. And there are going to be moments in time where you do or say something that you don't, or they might do or say something they normally wouldn't, especially when we're talking about like, most of the people who listen to this podcast are going to be the girlies. If you're dating a guy, they're on way more supplementation than we are. Again, it's not a hall pass to be an asshole, but like, it's a lot. And, they're having to figure out how to manage that internally, and sometimes it comes out in ways that are the greatest.
Mhm. And
Um,
I
Go
love
ahead.
that. I love that. Yeah, essentially what you were saying is like you can't be a sponge because you can't always absorb what others are giving to you because one, like emotionals are like they're uncontrollable. They are irrational, right? And so you kind of have to focus on developing like a unique response because no one makes you react in a certain way. Your reactions come from your past history, right? They really do. So it's like it's the process that needs to be worked on when high emotions arise because you better believe in prep. Emotions are going to be high even if energy is low because you are just in this such stressful state that you almost can't help but react because your body doesn't fucking understand why you're, smelling almonds and eating barely a carrot stick and you want to do this body competition, but you have to pose, you have to work on your mobility, you have to work on your recovery, like all these other things. Like
Yeah.
you logically know that you're doing this, but like that fear-based brain is like, just eat the goddamn cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? But you're like, no, I can't. So I really liked Mina's take on that when it comes to like thinking through emotional reactions and how you can react better, especially for your partner in prep or even if you're in prep, because it is something where you do tend to react, right? And it's kind of like turning down the dial as best as possible. So that way not every little argument becomes a catastrophe, right? So that way, like the little annoyance of like using the Ninja Creamy first, it's like, okay, that's stupid. It's small. Let me breathe through it. Like let him use the Ninja Creamy first and I will get my turn. Or you can do what Eric and I did and just buy two. We not Ninja Creamies. I get that's fucking expensive. For me, my issue, it wasn't the creamy, it was the food scale. So I get a price difference, but dude, I wasn't smart enough to buy two food scales. I wasn't, right? So we would take turns in the food scale and like we'd obviously both be hungry. And if I like, hit the button to zero it out and then he weighed something, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck? And like we would literally like for a good while only have one food scale. And like eventually he was like, why don't we just get two? And I was like,
Groundbreaking.
I was like, you can do that? Like we can be a two food and you know what? Ever since then, we have been a 2 or 3 foods. Like we have one on reserve. Like just in case like we
A
have one
battery
on the
dies.
bench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys here. I have 3 air fryers in my house.
Yeah.
3 for this reason.
And
1 is Josh's, 2 are mine. The reason I have 2 is because I had one, it broke, and then started working again. I had already borrowed another one, so I was like, all right, we're gonna just fucking air fry everything. Keep them all.
That's what I'm saying. And I actually
um,
do have 2 Ninja Creamies, but one I definitely shouldn't use because it definitely will blow up like a bomb. But I'm keeping it just in case because just in case I can get one more spin before my house blows up, I'm keeping that.
That's it. We're doing it. That's it.
no, my Amazon keeps showing me the Ninja Creamy Deluxe where it's like a
The ice
16
cream?
ounce. Yeah. Like, well, but it also has bigger pints. And
Oh, that's
like,
what I
I
have. I love
cannot,
it. Love
I
it.
can't empathize with the people who are like,
You need a big pint
you
for
have,
it.
what?
You need a bigger pint than that?
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I can't empathize with the people who are like, I can't even finish like the regular pints. Like, I could
Oh,
eat 2 of them bitches.
Oh,
Um,
dude, I didn't even know that. So I have the deluxe. I didn't even realize there was a smaller version. I just got the big bitch version because duh. And so like when I was buying pints, I bought the wrong pint. I was like, the fuck is this handheld dork? Like I was like, bitch, no.
wait a second. Now I don't even know what I have.
that's, I feel like you have the big one because literally, like, this is a coffee mug. This is the size of the pints of our Ninja
Oh,
Cream.
fuck that. What are you, a bird?
I'm saying.
Girl,
Also, this
can we start a
my
GoFundMe? Like a little Mina
This will
GoFundMe?
not be applicable due to the size of my midget hands, but what do I have?
you got the regular.
You got that looks
So you guys
small.
have bigger ones than this?
I have a
And
bigger
that's
one.
half eaten. What?
No, it's not. It's frozen. It's a cup of almond milk and a
Because
scoop of
Laura
protein
actually
powder.
respects the fill line. Fuck the fill line. Let me tell you,
No,
fuck
I'm
that
like,
fill. I'm
I'm
like,
vaccinated.
I'm maxing that bitch out.
Man, I
Mina,
love.
my sister, thank you for seeing me.
I.
Educate me. What am I doing wrong here?
Why is there only
Fill
a
a
quarter?
bitch.
I only do a scoop of protein powder. How much do you do?
Well, I judge mine up. I
I just
do.
shit.
Well,
Well,
I
I
do.
do after. Like once you have to do the first, light ice
Well,
cream
I'm
one,
not
and then I
talking like a
put.
tablespoon. Like you fill up to the fill line. You know what I'm saying?
I
With me.
do 35 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
It's a little more than a scoop. But I put a little vanilla extract in there. Sometimes I'll get fancy, I'll do some cinnamon, I'll put some cocoa powder because it's off season, and I'm like,
Mhm.
maybe I diet different than you guys. I'm not tracking a tablespoon of fucking cocoa powder.
Mm.
Not at this
And
point.
calories is coming for you.
Huh?
That 20 calories is coming for you.
Coming for
Yeah,
me,
Laura, it
girl.
definitely came for me at fucking 3,700 calories. You're right. The cocoa fucked me up. Yeah, you're right. I'm
It's
obese
okay.
now.
I do 240 milliliters almond sweetened almond milk, a scoop of protein powder, some stevia, and then blend it up. And then I add a little more almond milk when I'm doing the respin. And then I don't like doing the respin with the stuff in it. I'd rather add it and then just kind of mix it with a spoon because otherwise it gets too broken up. Like I put
You're
granola.
talking about like mix-ins, like chocolate chips and shit.
Yeah, Mina and I are
Oh,
like,
okay.
what are you doing? Mina's like,
I'm
Laura
judging the
doesn't deserve a creamy.
No, I'm not measuring that almond milk. And not at this point. When I'm in prep, like, yes, I will account for the fats in the almond milk that I use. I'll add water to it. It'll be icy and I won't be happy about it, whatever.
Mm.
And this is how I found my balance, which we're getting a little off track, but this is how I found my balance. I'm like, it's the 30 calories aren't coming for me, 50 with the cocoa powder, and it allows me to eat like a bodybuilder year round. Like I don't have to binge. I don't have to like before Texas, my last free meal was Thanksgiving. And like my next free meal won't be until Christmas. And that's what cause I've been doing this a long time. I mean, you guys have as well, but
Yeah.
that's so that I can maintain my peace. And I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I
the
think
thing. There's freedom in not weighing out your eggs, and that's what mine is doing. But truthfully, like, here's the thing that like what I used to lose my goddamn mind over, the idea of like being a perfect little bodybuilder. It's like there's an idea of accuracy and consistency and precision, right? And it's like if Mina is adding an extra 50 calories every single day and consistently doing it, then whenever she gets a food bump from her coach, which she inevitably likely will, it's gonna fucking even out. And then when she tightens it in prep, boom, there goes the 50 calories. Like it's truly not worth losing sleep over.
Well, I call it consistent inconsistency. So, like, if
Yes.
you're like one day you're using the barbecue sauce with calorie or like the GQs, and then the next day you're not, and then you're wondering why your weight's fluctuating all over the place. Like, but I have my Ninja Creamy every night. I put the same amount of almond milk in it every single night. Like,
Yep.
it's not gonna make a difference at the end of the day. And like you said, whenever I do go to diet, it just puts me in a deeper deficit quicker because I pull all that shit out. So,
Mhm.
um,
Honestly, clients, the first week of prepping or whatever, even if they're doing a pre-prep phase, they'll say, okay, this week, like, if you're having a free meal, make it fit within, caloric perimeters and all the extra nonsense bullshit you add that I know you do, take that out.
and
Yeah.
that's, I mean, it also makes me bodybuilding enjoyable because I am not a part of the camp of like unseasoned chicken, no hot sauce. Well, I know you're not a saucy girl.
Me? Oh,
I,
yeah.
no,
I mean,
Laura,
I'm
you
not like
also bring your food in
I just
moderation.
don't do hot stuff. Spicy is not my thing.
I
I
mean,
like the
I do
barbecue.
I mean, the amount of fat that I have to eat, like everything gets oil at this point, right? So it's like
It's like addressing
Just
itself.
drinking it.
yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm not like gonna I used to go through GQs and Walden Farms, but honestly, like that's because I was so lazy with my meals where it's like you should see my spice cabinet. Like my spice cabinet is insane, but it's like I don't feel that I need sauce because like my food tastes good without it, right? And I'm not saying that y'all are shit at cooking. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, but I'm just saying like if I want sauce, like I don't even know what sauce I'd want. Help me. What sauce do I want, Mina?
I've got one for every meal. For my breakfast, I like putting a low calorie pizza sauce on my egg whites with like mushrooms and I
Hmm.
cook it like a pancake. So to me, it's like a pizza. But I also I'm a big bit like in here I'm fat. Okay, so like it satiates that craving of wanting pizza, and I don't like whenever I do a free meal, I'm like I don't want pizza. I have that every day for breakfast. Um, and like a serving is like a quarter cup at 30 calories. I'm putting like 2 tablespoons. Um, that's my and then Frank's Red Hot mixed with mustard and stevia. That's my go-to.
Okay, yeah,
So
I'm, like,
they get
using
mustard.
hot sauce, and then yeah, and I use Dijon, like, what I do okay, this is the last thing, then we need to get back on track, but, like, what I'll do is I have, lemon-flavored cod liver oil, and it literally just tastes like lemons, and I make a vinaigrette with Dijon mustard, and then, like, I'll have it over, like, a salad because, like, honestly, like, I get you're like, "Why the fuck are you eating a salad?" When my food gets so fucking high, in order for me to condense shit, I will have a chunk of bread and then a little side salad because that, for me, helps me to cut down on all the fucking sweet stuff that I'm normally eating because I honestly it's fun at first, but then, like, when you're constantly just dumping sugar on shit, it's like, "Okay, like, give me something fresh," because, like, yeah, I wanna grow, but I also don't wanna be eating cheeseburgers and fucking full fat ice cream because there's, like that's just, like, not how I wanna eat and live, but let's kinda dial
Really?
it back. Um, I think Mina did touch on something about being burnt out with bodybuilding, and that can also happen emotionally, right? Especially as women, because we do want to show up for everyone in our lives. But when you're in prep, especially when you're in the weeds of prep, you really can't do that because you don't have the energy, you don't have the emotional capacity. Like, it is really hard to show up for yourself, let alone others. And that's why, again, communicating your needs and telling people beforehand, like, hey, I'm about to do this. I don't expect you to understand. I don't even expect you necessarily to like check it on me daily, but just know if I seem withdrawn or short that I'm not mad at you. I am just having a hard day. I'm going through it. Like prepare your loved ones for what decision you're about to make, just so that way when you come out of prep, you still have those people in your lives, right? You haven't like burned bridges because you were bad to them or whatever.
And I think it's also important to note, like, uh, from my experience, I've been doing this for a long time now. My family knows that I do it, but even like not just your spouse and people that even if you think that person understands and they know and you don't need to preface it before you get into that deep part, it can mean a lot to your loved ones, friends, family. If you're like, hey, just so you know, like I'm about to enter into like the dead space. I love you. I'm still here if you like need something, but if I'm not emotionally there, like don't take it personally. Because this prep, I had my dad, my grandma, and one of my friends all message me and be like, "Hey, I feel like, like you've been distant." I'm like, "Well, I have. It's not your fault, but it's something that I didn't do, and I wish I could."
Mhm.
Um, and again, my dad, he knows that I compete. My friend is a competitor, and my grandma, she knows too. So
Yeah.
it's just important to assess it before you get into that space. Because if you wait until like, oh, I still feel good right now. Once you hit the part where you don't feel good, you're not gonna have the energy to send the text. Like
Yeah.
you might, I mean, some people might be better than me, but it was all I could do to check all my boxes and like do all my work. And taking care of other people's emotions was the last thing that was.
Yeah. And truthfully, if you do preface like other conversations, people are much more understanding than you may realize, even if they aren't bodybuilders themselves. And let me give you an example. Like I told my mom that like I was going through a prep and she was just like, well, let me know how I can love and support you. And there were days where like I just needed to fucking call my mom. And I'm blessed enough to still have her in my life. And even though she is so far removed from the sport, like she thinks peanut butter is a protein far removed. Do you know what I'm saying? Bless her heart. Like, there'd be days where I would just be sobbing on the phone because, like, I was feeling all the things and feeling really tired and grumpy, and she would just listen, and then she would give me words of wisdom, she'd pray for me, and even though she did literally nothing in terms of I don't know, like giving me a refeed or like whatever the fuck. Like she elevated my spirits just by her presence. And like that's why having that communication with people beforehand can be so important because you are asking so much of yourself and people that love you will still want to continue loving you. It just might look a little bit differently while you're in prep. And that also means when you're out of prep to really do your due diligence and like Mina does, give yourself a little bit of flexibility so that way like you can put energy into things that actually fucking matter, like your relationships, your friendships, your family, your significant others. Because truthfully, like while prep does take a good chunk of change in the year, as long as you're not prepping every single year, multiple shows, to where, like, that's all you do is prep, then, like, that time outside of prep in your off season is really focusing on other areas while you check your boxes as an athlete.
And that's kind of the circle to your point of prepping all year, every year. If you are in a relation, and this is my personal opinion, if you're in a relationship with someone who also competes, like you'll express that the way that you and Eric are going to go about this is going to be different. If you are in a relationship with, like, you don't plan on competing for a while. I plan on continuing to compete for a while. Garrett plans on continuing to compete for a while. Try both. Because what we found is like, yes, we can't be as supportive of one another when we're prepping together, but our whole year was gone. I started prep in March. He started prep while I was in prep. Like, we have done nothing this year but bodybuilding. And so for us, to it's more important for us to have time where we can be together and, like, be human beings and fortify our relationship than it is to be able to be leaning on one another in prep, because at the end of the day, we've both done it alone, and we know that we can take care of it alone. While it is nice to have that support, it's a lot nicer to have some free months, because like, we wanna go on vacation, but there was not a single point in this year where we could, just because of the timelines. And I'm not saying if you're on prep, you can't go on vacation. It's just the way that things were. So give it a try. You don't know if it works or doesn't unless you do try it. And we found what works for us. Um, and that's like, he was talking about doing nationals again next year. I was like, yeah, so I'm starting prep in February. And if you compete in December, um, that's all of
I'm going
2020.
on vacation without you.
Well, good. We have
We can
never
plan a trip.
girls trip,
Mm.
um, because I need something, and so does he. But yeah, so that's just my. If you're in it for the long haul in the sport of bodybuilding and your relationship, try both ways and find what works for you. Because when we went through the first prep together at the same time, we're like, yeah, this sucked. Like, we were both dead. We weren't able to really help each other. Doing the same show was honestly also trash.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm.
but now that we've experienced the flip side of competing at two completely different times, we're like, wait, we're gonna choose our hard and it's gonna be the other one so that we can go on dates. And like, yes, you can still go on dates and like not eat and participate, but like if that's every year, one after another, because that's the pro, like I do plan on competing every year.
Mhm.
It's gonna take a lot out of me, but that's just kind of what it demands, unless for some reason like I get feedback that I need to grow astronomically, which humbly I'm not. Or if my body decides to, you know, do south and be like, we can't do this for a while, that would be the only thing that takes me out of competing for the next 5 years. So it's just,
If you don't mind me asking, do you guys want to have kids?
no, we don't. Um, and I think I have a sneaking suspicion Garrett's gonna be like 45 and be like, I want kids. And I'll be like, well, I'm 40, so it might be a little too late for us. And I've been bodybuilding for 15 years. Um, like just the way that he looks at kids, not in a weird way, but like if they like wave to him in a restaurant, Garrett would be like smiling and waving back. And he has made comments of like, this is the last line, the last McKean. I'm like, you're gonna want a kid. Um, but there's also multiple avenues, whether it's IVF or adopting. But as of right now, like he asked me on our first date if I wanted kids, and I was like, whoa, um, no. But so that's just our juxtaposition. I know Ash doesn't want kids
No.
either. Now that's I'm like full send. I'm in it. But
Yeah, I do think just, like, knowing how each other works and how each other preps, because obviously if, like, Mina and Garrett, like, they thrive in prep in a relationship, like, dude, I think that's awesome. I know how I prepped in this most recent venture, and if that's how I'm gonna prep again, no, I'm not doing that to Eric because, like, he would need me to not be who I was, and quite frankly, like, I don't think I wanna do it again, like, just full transparency, so it's like, that's just where I'm at. As far as the kid note, I'm gonna give a little funny nugget. So we were watching this boat parade, Because Charleston obviously is in a harbor surrounded by water. For those of you that maybe are a little challenged with maps, like I am, they have a little boat parade with Christmas lights, and it was pretty cool. Like nothing like I would crap my pants over next year going over, but like obviously it's great for the kids. There were like kids that were right next to us that literally like this one bitch like shoulder checked me and she's like 4 years old. I'm like, what are you doing? And they were being so loud and obnoxious, like children are because they're children. And they were talking to us, and I'm like, "I don't know you. I don't know you. Don't speak to me." It makes me uncomfortable because I don't know what to say. Because 'cause I'll be like, "I do steroids, what do you do?" You know, like, I don't know how to interact with children. I just don't. Um, and Eric's good with them because he, like, was an Eagle Scout, so he grew up, like, with kids younger than him, and he's fine with kids. And he was like interacting with them or whatever, and he was like lovingly behind me, scratching my back. And this one kid, he was like screaming and like really talking really loud to the point where it was making the people that we were with like really uncomfortable. And Eric continued to like engage with him, and I literally like herb stomped this motherfucker from behind, like do a glute kick back into his shin, and he just like takes a second and he like stops talking the rest of the evening. And I was like, let the kid alone because it was really causing my dad's wife stress. And I was like, just stop engaging with this child, please.
And relatable. Garrett and I went to a gluten-free food festival, and they had giant Connect Four, and this little kid came up and was like taking the pieces, and I was like, "Bruh, um, we're playing the game right now." I don't do well with interacting with children either. I wish I did. I think I would be a great mother. I do have like maternal instincts, but as far as like talking to the kid, I'm like, "Stop, dog." Um,
Dude, like for sure. Like I just don't know how to talk to them because like you could tell me your child's like 5 years old. And I'd be like, okay, so are they shitting their pants still, or where are they at in school? Because like I literally just don't know age and
I know who
milestones.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, what do you do for fun? Do
All right.
you have any, do
Awesome.
you have any hobbies or interests? Like,
Yeah, like
um,
what phase are you in? Are you in like the Ninja Turtles, the G.I. Joe, the dinosaur? That gives me a little bit more insight, you know what I'm saying? But
This
like,
this would depend on the kid because my niece is only 4 and she would be able to like back and forth conversation with you like nothing. Because she's very intellectual, a little behind with motor skills, but she's really smart, so
mm.
she'd be able to carry a conversation with you, no problem.
Dude, I was like talking to my mom the other day, and I have a niece and a nephew. I don't know how old they are in terms of like months or years. Maybe like 3 years old, and then I think Geith is like not quite a year. And so she's talking to me about Geith, the less than a 1 year old, and she was like, "Yeah, I saw him walking around the other day," and I was like, "Is that impressive, or is he like fundamentally delayed?" Like, truthfully, I do not know. She's like, "No, that's crazy." Like walking around of less than a year is like crazy. I was like, "Oh, good for him
Right.
then." Like
He
I
probably
literally
probably won't talk until he's 5 though, because usually when kids are it's one way or the other. It's unusual for being both like motor skills and
and you
intellectually
see, I
on
didn't know that, so I
at
learned
the same
something else
time.
new. So he's gonna be walking
Yeah.
around, but he's gonna be like a mime, I guess, and just not talking. That's fine. That saves me
What
social
happened?
anxiety.
He's
I
like
will be
sipping.
our like child milestone consultant if we have
Dude, seriously, I'm gonna text Laura. Like, okay, so I have a friend who's potty training her 1 month old. Is that good or bad?
well, Olivia planning on having kids. So I was like, you know, it'll be interesting shift in dynamic for our friendship because I don't know how to act with kids, but I think I'll like it because it'll be hers.
Yes.
It, the baby will be hers, but um, to kind of like put, I had some thoughts while we were having this conversation, put kind of a ribbon on relationships. One, top, make sure when you're going into prep and bodybuilding, like you and your partner have an understanding of like what your tentative timelines are. Because like talking about kids, like if Garrett wanted to have kids, like while I'm still young and there's so many avenues out there where like fertility the duration of fertility for women can be much longer than that, like, oh, your clock's ticking at 30. Like it is bodybuilding, even if you're doing it naturally, it takes a mega toll on your body and your probability to conceive and carry a full term it it gets a lot lower unless you're actively doing all the things that you need to, and
Mhm.
like the fertility treatments for that to be the case. So if him and I weren't aligned on that, or like he, let's say he wasn't a bodybuilder, and he was like, I support you on this right now, but like how, assuming it's just a phase, make sure you have those. Um, because you need to be on the same page. He knows that I'm in it for the long haul. I know he's in it for the long haul. So we have that understanding. We know that we're not going to go on as many trips. We're not going to go on as many vacations. We got a household with two people. We go through a kit or a vial of growth hormone a day between the both of us. That's a lot of money. Um, so we have that mutual understanding, and make sure you have it with your partner too, because it's time consuming, it's financially consuming, and it can cause a lot of like strife. Is that the word I'm looking
Yep.
for in a relationship if you're not on the same page? Whether it is a new relationship or an old one, because you don't also want to get into a relationship with someone, whether you're the competitor, they're the competitor, you both are, with preconceived notions about how your timeline might.
Yeah.
So, like, we're even, uh, to be super transparent, the only reason why Garrett and I probably aren't engaged already or married is because of competing. Because, like, when is he gonna have time to go find a ring? I'm not trying to plan a wedding while I'm also dieting for a bodybuilding competition. Like, even though I do wanna have, like, a 6 weeks out look when we do get married, like, I wanna be holding a bouquet and just, like, veins down my arm. But, um, that's going to take time away too, but it's a or I hate to use the word sacrifice, but it was a
But it
decision.
is.
It
Yeah.
was a decision that we mutually made. So, I
Right.
mean,
You're
Sacrifices aren't a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a sacrifice, but it's an informed decision. You know what I'm saying? And, like, because it is your guys' joint decision, that's why it's beautiful, because no one else can take it away from you. And whenever things decide to change, you will make that decision together, right? And that'll be beautiful in its own way. And so, like, there are just pros and cons to any relationship dynamic because it's unique. It's taking two people with different emotions, ideas, thought process, physique goals, not non-physique goals, and it's trying to make that work, right? And relationships are complicated. Bodybuilding relationships are complicated. But at the end of the day, it makes it a little less complicated when you just try to communicate in love and truly try to not win arguments or win sides and just try to see like, hey, this is the conflict. How this is my side, this is your side. How can we join together? Right. And I know that's much easier said than done. Trust me, I've been with Eric for 13, 14 years, and that's still a work in progress. But I can tell you that when I wanted to win early on, I lost every time. But now when it's like I want to communicate, I'm having this conflict, like how can I see your side? How can you see mine? And how can we make a decision together that benefits the both of us? And it seems like that you both ladies have that with your fellows, which is great.
one of my favorite sayings that kind of embodies that is it's not you versus me, it's you and me versus the problem.
Mhm.
So, we're just dropping little, you can use that whether you're in prep or not. It's a great relationship tool, and it's prevented us from like, I'm not gonna say we never argue, but like we
having
usually
killed each other
Yeah.
yet.
It's like little tiffs. I call them tiffs because like, we all have tiffs, but, like, a full-blown argument, it's been a long time.
I mean, I can't even, again, the Ninja Creamy. I was like, ugh, you made yours first. And he's like, why are you being sassy over the Ninja Creamy? You literally make yours first every night. And I was like, you're right. Sorry for being sassy. Um, so there you go.
I love that.
I love this.
Guys, it's gonna be Christmas next week. What is Santa bringing for Christmas or Hanukkah?
It
Respect
is
how
Hanukkah.
Yes.
Um, well, Dara and I had this conversation on the plane on the way home. I was like, hey, so like Christmas is in 9 days and I bought you nothing. And he's like, I haven't bought you anything either. I'm like, perfect. So not a lot for us, more than likely, because we've been both focused on that goal. What's Santa bringing you?
I don't know what Eric got me, and I can't because he edits the podcast, and I feel like fucking Riverside will, like, clip this exact moment, so even though he doesn't listen to the full thing, like, Riverside's gonna be snooping, but I did good, ladies, I did good for my man, I treated him well, I got stuff that, like, he will use, I got stuff that he's wanted, and then I had this big one. I'm getting closer because 'cause I'm really excited, I got this big, big gift. That's for the both of us. That I cannot wait to see him absolutely drop a Christmas dookie. He's gonna be so excited. I'm
Tell
gonna try
us in
to
the
I'm trying to
Instagram group
film it.
chat. Put it in
He's
the
in it. He's in the group chat. This motherfucker's everywhere.
well,
He's like
the
Jeff Bezos.
the Instagram one.
Yeah, make an Instagram group
Oh, the
chat.
Instagram one.
No.
That's a good one.
Exclude him. 47 kids of growth hormone.
Dude,
Please, thank you.
I'm about to place a fucking order. And let me tell you right now, like it's big bitch season over here.
That's the scariest thing though, waiting for like a $2,000 order to come through USPS. I'm like, the
Dude,
mailman's I'm
you
like
know,
by the door like this.
literally. Speaking of, so this is one last thing, then we'll wrap this shit up. When my in-laws and my dad and his wife were in town for Thanksgiving, my mother-in-law on Friday, they came over, and she picks up all my packages, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just bringing these in," and one of them was my fucking vials of MPP and Masteron, and I was like, "You just committed a felony." Not that she knows, but I told Eric, I was like, "Your mom just brought in my drugs."
I can yap with you guys all day. The other reason why we have done no vacation, I was supposed to go on vacation with Paul and Olivia to Mexico. I'm starting my little growth cycle of like primo and stuff. And I'm like, it's one thing to fly on the airplane with like, inter US versus like me going to Mexico.
Oh,
And
no. No,
so
no, no.
I don't think it's the right time. Like the universe is like, no.
You
Um,
want to end up in a Mexican jail? Good fucking luck.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yes, I want to go on vacation, but also I
I
don't.
mean, the only thing with that is Primo stays in your system for like 2 weeks, so like you would be okay depending on how long you're going.
Yeah, but Laura, would you want to start and stop your
Yeah.
drug cycle in the
No.
middle
No,
for your pro debut
No.
no.
at the Chicago Pro?
No.
We changed it.
We're doing Chicago.
I think
Chicago.
Chicago, and Atlanta for sure. I
Oh,
know.
I might be at Atlanta because my friend, he is a 212 pro. Might be doing Atlanta, so I might.
I'm sure Meg is probably doing it too.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Um, and maybe Tampa, but we'll see. Just Toronto's too close. I want to do a grow. Say, like, I know you gotta go. You got dinner
It's
with somebody.
fine. It's
Listen,
fine.
I'm talking about myself.
I want to listen, so it's fine.
I want if I had just done like a reverse and then get ready to like health phase prep, I could do it. But I am trying to come out swinging, so like I decided to push back my tentative show date. Um, in hopes of that. 'Cause I want to go to the Olympia so bad, and I want to go like it's a big tall order for pro day because now I got to win two or acquire enough points, and I don't have enough money to do 47 shows. Um,
Crazy.
right.
Well, I'm proud of you for that because, like, it's one thing to be super excited to do a pro debut, but you're like raising the stakes even more. Where it's like, I don't want to just debut; I want to like conquer, right? And so, like, I really do respect and admire you for like pushing back your emotions of excitement to be like, listen, if I have Olympia goals and dreams, then I need to have Olympia work ethic, which means growing my glutes. So, snaps and claps there for you.
Thank you. Chicago will be fun too, because my friend Kenzie lives up there. Her boyfriend's gonna do his pro debut. And I don't know if you guys saw like the dry needling body work that I got done while in Texas. She is also going to be there for some like last minute stuff. Because she made my glutes like 3 times bigger than they actually are, or look that way anyway. So it's just kind of like all the pieces of the puzzle are kind of adding up for Chicago. And Coach Justin likes to go to pro debuts. He hates Toronto. And just like from the venue, the gym that everyone goes to is like 40 minutes away. The
Ugh.
city's kind of sus. Also talking about international travel with drugs.
Yeah.
No, no.
You know, I want to make it to my pro debut.
Could you imagine getting? Didn't that happen to someone trying to come from Dubai? It was a guy. Something like that. That was supposed to like be doing the Olympia.
Well, I just think about Melissa Bumstead.
That's what I was thinking, dog.
I'm like,
Yeah.
when like with, you know, I work for myself, Garrett's got a big boy corporate job, we have an understanding of like, if anything like that happens, it will go on me because I'm not trying to get a job in corporate America.
I mean,
So, huh?
yeah, yeah. That's what I told Eric. I was like, listen, if something ever happens, it's on me, dog. Like,
That's so like I'm happy to do that for us, but also at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna be careful. But then, but like, so how do all these other people do it? Buy it when they get here?
They could, or they could have something shipped ahead and sent to where they're going, so it's not on their person when they're traveling.
Sure.
or honestly, we might just be overthinking the shit out of it.
I
And
mean,
they might
I'm
just
sure
put it in fucking a toothbrush holder. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm sure there are plenty of people. Well, here's the thing too. It's like I really don't know the logistics of this. If you're having like a vial versus like
A
something that's
mule.
enough that
Yeah.
you're selling, like what the differential would be with that.
I mean,
But let's not find out.
Yeah.
Personally.
right. Hold on. Well, that's like, you know, once you're probably traveling for a show as a female, you're at least I'm off all injectables
Mm.
anyways.
Yeah.
But oh gosh. Yeah, good times.
Cool. Well, we're excited for you regardless. We're gonna wrap this shit up because I'm gonna eat my body weight in shrimp cocktail. I love you,
Enjoy.
ladies. I will see you either next Thursday or next Friday, depending upon y'all's schedules. But have a very Merry Christmas.
I'll have a new little friend next time I see you too.
Yay!
Wait, did you decide on a name?
It's either Moose or Bruce. We'll decide when we get him tomorrow. But
Moose.
I think it's Moose.
Moose. Because if
Moose
he's
on
Bruce, I'm
fun.
gonna be like Batman.
That's what I thought of. Same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Bruce Wayne. And he's like, no. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Moose.
That's the
It
only
needs to be Moose and Bunny because that could start its own cartoon show.
Exactly. All right.
Josh, you're wrong. It's Moose.
He's actually got on board with it. He said he agreed with it.
Fantastic. All right, ladies. Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.